welcome back to Out of Spec. My name is Isaiah. I'm here in Apex, North Carolina, just outside of Raleigh for the official grand opening of this rechargery. Now, this specific station has been open for quite some time, right? We did the Out of Spec meet here, but now we're getting the full grand opening with all of the automakers from BMW, General Motors, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes-Benz, Stellantis, and even Toyota here to essentially build and found a CPO, a charge point operator. And seeing more infrastructure, particularly in North America, is good to see. And the more infrastructure we see, the better it supports their investments in electrification. So this just goes hand in hand. Automakers are investing in EVs. If they want them to sell, they need to invest in the infrastructure as well. And here, right, we have the Alpitronic HYC 400s up to 400 kilowatt charging. So we're supporting the 400 lower volt cars as well as the now 1000 volt EVs that we're going to see in the future. So let's get on with this video.
This episode is made possible by the support we get from Fort Collins Kia. If you are in the market for any electric Kia, not only do they never add market adjustments, they will deliver your car to you anywhere in the 48 contiguous states for Out of Spec viewers. More information in the link in this episode's description. Yes, this station has been open for quite some time. That is because it was in the public beta testing phase. Of course, we had our Out of Spec meetup there. From late December to late January, this station was open with just 20-cent kilowatt hour rates, which enticed people, EV owners, to come and try out their stations for themselves back to back for IONNA to get a ton of data about their charging sessions, see how their equipment performs in the real world so that they know what they need to do and have strategies in place if something were to go wrong, and also understand how their chargers are going to perform moving forward. Now, when it comes to rates, currently, IONNA has a flat rate of 47 cents per kilowatt hour for all of their current stations. However, it will be site-specific pricing. So whether you're in the Southeast, the Northeast, the Pacific Northwest, or in the Southwest, or the Midwest, you're going to have a different price for different stations. You're in a different location, electricity prices are different, you're going to pay different rates when you are charging. And we're also going to see daytime rates as well as nighttime rates and just time specific rates as a whole, as well as dynamic pricing. So like Tesla, right, there are certain prices during certain times of the day. So after midnight, the price per kilowatt hour drops. During peak hours, the price rises. And so we're going to likely see this at IONNA as well. And so depending on the time of day, you're going to get a different rate. But let's just jump into the presentation with CEO of IONNA, Seth, Secretary Wilson from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, and then the Mayor of Apex. Let's jump into it.
Those that don't know me, my name is Seth Cutler, and I'm the CEO of Ionna. Thank you. Thank you. It's an absolute honor to be here today at Ionna's Apex Rechargery, our first ever charging station that we built, surrounded by some of the very folks who helped make this vision a reality. Today is an historic day, not just for Ionna, but for all of us and the joint effort that we together represent. We're gathered here with the top executives of the world's leading automakers, our partners in building something that has never been achieved before, in unison, in collaboration, and at scale in the United States. We're joined by government officials, the media, industry leaders, and most importantly, the EV community, EV drivers, the people that will power this network as we earn their trust through their journeys. To all of you, I extend our deepest gratitude for joining us on this occasion. You know, just 1 year ago, IONNA was an idea, a bold commitment by 8 of the world's largest automakers to create a charging network that drivers and consumers could depend on, that they could rely on. Today, I'm proud to be up here to tell you that vision is real. With over 100 sites contracted in the last several months, the IONNA team is on track to bring more than 1,000 high-power charging bays online in 2025, scaling to 30,000 charging bays by the end of 2030. This is a network built for drivers by those who know them best. We're not building just another legacy charging network. We're building an experience, one that puts drivers first, that prioritizes reliability, that integrates technology seamlessly from the grid to the steering wheel, and that offers the freedom to travel wherever the American road may lead. We measured twice and we cut once. Over the past months, we've tested, we've iterated, and we've refined with over 4,000 charging sessions, over 80 vehicle models, and nearly 63 megawatt hours of energy dispensed. We learned from real drivers, we worked with them, and we incorporated their feedback into our charging sites, including the one that you see here today. Our commitment to you is to continue working with consumers and the EV community to drive continuous improvement as we work towards a best-in-class charging experience. This is more than just infrastructure, though. This is a commitment to American ingenuity, innovation, and job creation to solve a problem that until now proved to be elusive. Every site we build means new opportunities for American workers, from construction crews to software engineers. Every rechargery that we open is another step toward ensuring EV drivers have a choice, a real choice, from the showroom to the moment they hit the open road. IONNA is bound only by the limits of our collective imagination and efforts, and that is why we are not stopping simply at fast, reliable charging stations with well-lit locations and clean bathrooms. We are redefining what a charging station and a charging experience can be. In fact, beginning in Q1 of this year, our Garner, North Carolina location, located just miles from this very site, currently under construction, will go live, where we'll introduce AI-powered, just walk out convenience stores built in collaboration with Amazon. No lines, no hassle, just charge, grab what you need, and when you and your car are fully recharged, get back out on those open roads. We will be developing the most integration-rich charger network in America. Plug and charge, AI-driven smart reservations, route optimizations, in-car app payments, etc. Every automaker represented here today has contributed to making this network the most seamless, the most advanced, and the most customer-centric network in the industry. And this is just the beginning. To our automakers and partners, this is your network. You helped build it. And together we will scale it at an unprecedented pace. To our government leaders, thank you for standing with us as we invest in American jobs and American infrastructure. To the media and industry leaders, let drivers know that the IONNA team is bold, humble, and ready to meet them on the open road. And to the million of EV drivers across the country, this network is for you, built not to force change, but to give you the freedom, reliability, and the choice that you deserve. What you see here today is IONNA. This is our vision of what charging in America should have always been. And I'm excited to say that this IONNA team is just getting started. Thank you. We're grateful to have Secretary Reed Wilson of the North Carolina DEQ with us here today. Secretary Wilson has been a decades-long servant to the preservation and advocacy of natural resources. Secretary Wilson.
Thank you, Seth. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, there's a lot of you out here, and I can understand why. How cool is this? How innovative is this? How is this going to change how people get around this country in the coming years? Just amazing. I'm blown away. So congratulations to the IONNA team and to the 8 manufacturers who have made today happen. This rechargery is the first of its kind in the whole nation. I mean, this is a really big deal here today in Apex. I'm excited to serve as Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. This is my 5th week on the job, so I'm still learning a lot, but there's one thing I know already, and that's that our department plays a critical role in every North Carolinian's life, protecting their health, protecting our air, land, and water, and helping to boost our state's economy. Our work does support a strong economy in North Carolina in many ways, and I think we all recognize and acknowledge and embrace the fact that environmental protection and economic growth go hand in hand. They are intertwined every step of the way. A healthy environment is good for employees, good for business, good for the families who are fortunate enough to call North Carolina home. And thanks to this state's talented workers, workforce training programs, and strong infrastructure, North Carolina has become the epicenter of the clean energy economy. Our work to advance the clean energy economy is good for our environment, good for people, good for our pocketbooks. And we are seeing the results as companies bring thousands of well-paid jobs to our state. Today's milestone is just more proof of that. At DEQ, we're focused on ensuring businesses have the support they need to succeed. We are closely involved with large-scale economic development projects. As new projects or expansions are planned, we are in the room on the front end as a partner to help those businesses, offering a whole-of-department approach so that they can get their projects moving in an environmentally responsible manner. We are required to be thorough, and we are, but we do our work as expeditiously as possible. We value our strong partnership with the North Carolina Department of Commerce, represented today by Chief Deputy Secretary Jordan Richard right there, and our relationship with the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina. From manufacturing electric vehicles to their batteries to charging stations, North Carolina has jobs in every link of the electric vehicle supply chain. Our state is committed to continuing to expand its clean energy economy, and it is a point of pride that people now call North Carolina the Battery Belt. IONNA's innovative charging technology is helping us continue to lead the way in North Carolina, and obviously there are important environmental and public health benefits here. Less air pollution, fewer greenhouse gases going up into the sky. You know, I think all of us in North Carolina take great pride that for the last 5 years, CNBC has said we're one of the top 3 business states in the country. And it's because our government is committed to work with businesses to both promote their work and to protect our environment. My job at DEQ is to work with businesses, the environmental community, all the stakeholders, other government agencies to ensure we remain one of the top states for business. It's just a wonderful thing to see this collaboration between 8 major automakers to ensure we have world-class infrastructure here for charging electric vehicles. I'm probably not alone in saying that for years I've heard people say, I really want an electric vehicle, but I just don't know about the charging stations. Will it be enough? Well, this announcement today, I think, and IONNA's aggressive plans to get to 30,000 of these rechargeries in the near future is just a resounding answer to that concern. And the answer is, yes, we will have enough chargers very soon. So if you're interested in an electric vehicle, now might be the time to go get it before everyone else does. So congratulations again to everyone who has helped make. They're excited too. Thanks to everyone for making this day happen. I know it's been a lot of work, and there's a lot more work to do, but this is an incredible milestone. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you Apex Mayor Jacques Gilbert. Mr. Mayor.
That train is right on time. We scheduled it that way to bring the excitement to Peak of Good Living. As the mayor of Apex, if this is your first time here, you are one of the most fortunate people in America because you are in the peak of good living. Apex, North Carolina. How about that? So it is truly a wonderful afternoon, and of course, what we do in Apex is to make sure you are receiving good hospitality. We got the sunshine here for you, and we have a nice day for a ribbon cutting ceremony for Apex Rechargery. Now, IONNA Recharger, excuse me, but this is an exciting day for Apex, and today we stand at the intersection of history and innovation where the past meets the future to create something truly transformative. In the opening of the IONNA Rechargery, I've been waiting for this day for quite some time, and I remember Seth came into my office, and he sat there, and he described this vision, and I was totally on board. The hardest thing for me is that I had to keep it quiet. That was tough. But here we are today, so many people here celebrating this golden moment in the Peak of Good Living. Before I move on with the rest of my remarks, I do want to recognize some of the government officials who are here celebrating this moment with you. We have from our council, Mayor Pro Tem Ed Gray, if you please stand and be acknowledged. Councilman Terry Mahaffey. Councilman Arnold Zagerman. And from the congressional delegation, Congresswoman Valerie Foushee, and Salima is here representing her today. So thank you for being here. From our county commissioners, we have the chair, Susan Evans. We have Vice Chair Don Mile and Commissioner Cheryl Stallings. By the way, she's a former town council member for the town of Apex. And of course, from our team at the town of Apex, we do have Deputy Town Manager Sean Purvis, and from our economic development team, Colleen Moraes and Barbara Balesig. Thank you all for being here. So I do want to add a personal note about this location. I can remember growing up in this town and remember this site was a Phillips 66. And I remember my parents used to bring us here. They depended on this for fuel, and they sold honey buns. And I remember they would make sure I got a honey bun if I was nice. So what we're doing today is transforming this. Today, this same site is being reborn, not as a relic of the past, but as a beacon for the future. And that's pretty exciting. And of course, all has been mentioned today, providing cutting-edge EV charging infrastructure that will power the next generation of transportation. And this transformation reflects our unwavering commitment to innovation, sustainability, and smart growth. But here's the big key. It's been said today so many times where when an individual or individuals get together and they identify a problem, and then they say, here's a solution, and they collaborate and move it forward. So I love collaboration. We love collaboration in the town of Apex. So between IONNA and our local leadership here and the economic development teams, and of course, the powerful automotive industry, we thank you for your collaboration. So again, this is not just about charging cars. It's about our commitment to sustainability. And Apex is proud to be leading the way toward a 100% clean energy future by 2050. And with initiatives like this, we are making real progress toward reducing the carbon footprint right here in the peak of good living. And we believe people, profit, and planet, that's the true model because we are the peak of good living. So as we cut the ribbon today, and we're going to get right to that because we heard from two dynamic speakers, and when you put a politician on a microphone, they can go on and on and on and on and on. But we want to get to the ribbon cut. And so I want to thank all of you for joining us today. This is a powerful moment for the town of Apex, pun intended. And I want to thank everyone who worked together to make this a reality. So we're truly reviving the past right here at this site and powering the future. And as I always say, there is nothing we can't accomplish when we work together. This is Apex, the peak of good living. Now let's cut this ribbon and charge ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Secretary Wilson and Mayor Gilbert. Appreciate the inspiring words of you guys being here today to support us in this important endeavor. It is my great pleasure to conclude today's program with a very special ribbon cutting. It's not often that we can all come together to cut a ribbon. Today, we're going to cut 10 ribbons, each with our founding OEM partners, the IONNA team that's on site, and then we have our team at our headquarters location in Durham as we cut our ribbon today for our Customer Experience Center that are also here. So with that, I'm going to ask all the OEM representatives to come up and join at your respective vehicles. The IONNA team on site, come join me at the ribbon by the monitor, and then I'm going to count us down once we hand out scissors to cut these ribbons together. Okay. 3, 2, 1. IONNA!
So we're here with Seth, the CEO of IONNA. How are you doing?
We're excited.
Yeah.
It was an amazing day for the team. You know, my 1 year anniversary was 3 days ago, so
okay.
The company's been in operation for almost exactly 12 months. And to be here today to cut a ribbon 12 months later, to build a company and build a great product is really amazing for us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to get all of the automakers here together? It's a group effort, collaboration. Yep. Not something we see very often, especially in the electrification space.
No, for sure. I mean, look, I think what we're trying to do is unprecedented in terms of unison collaboration between us and the OEMs. I think it's what you need to really deliver a differentiated customer experience in the marketplace is both the physical aspect of the charging stations and the digital experience together with the OEM. So I think today really represented what IONNA is and what IONNA will be in the future.
Now, how does IONNA plan to maintain a reliable charging position, right? Making sure that we're seeing a high uptime and availability for users to be able to charge their EVs?
Yeah, it's a great question. Look, I think it's built into our DNA and into our culture. So everything that we do on the culture that we developed, the mission-oriented team that we have in place, we are constantly watching these assets, including myself. I constantly am looking at logs and looking at chargers, are the chargers up and running? We built a best-in-class tier 2, a field service team. And so really we've got multiple strategies in place in terms of our own field techs, we've got field service partners, parts on hand, parts in the field. So we will make sure that these chargers are kept at the uptime and reliability that they need and that the drivers deserve.
Awesome. And wanted to add here. So you guys have over 100 sites permitted, kind of planned, ready for IONNA.
We have over 100 sites contracted today. Six of them will be live this week. We have 5 live right now. 6 ones coming online this week. 7 more sites are in construction, and the remaining are in a combination of in permitting right now and in design. So, with well over 100 sites acquired and contracted, and the progression that we've made all the way through design and permitting, gives us the confidence that we can really start to achieve the goals that we've put in place. And look, the year's not done yet, right? With over 100 sites contracted, we're looking to contract hundreds of more this year alone, which will set us up for success into 2026 and beyond. Awesome. As we think about scaling to 30,000 charging bays by the end of 2030.
Awesome. Do you have any personal goals, right? Something that's really not within IONNA, but just that you want to see IONNA complete and accomplish?
Yeah, look, I think for me, the team that we built and what I do every day is we are IONNA. And so what you see is we're mission oriented, and my goals, my personal goals, are the company goals. We don't go to sleep at night until the job is done, and that's our plan for the next foreseeable future until we build this network and demonstrate what we can accomplish in this market.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Seth.
I appreciate you being here.
So we're here with Jacques, the mayor of Apex, North Carolina. How are you doing today?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful day here at the Peak of Good Living, and of course we just celebrated a golden moment, as I often say. Something really good here for IONNA's Rechargery's grand opening here at Ribbon Cutting. So it's a pretty exciting day.
It's amazing. How does it feel to be the grand opening city, the first city with an IONNA Rechargery, something this expansive? As you mentioned in your presentation, right, this used to be a Gulf gas station?
That's right.
So
66, yes.
Yeah.
It's truly transformative, and I like how the old can still be revived and create something new.
Right.
And to do it here in Apex, and growing up here, it was quite boring. But now to see the town thriving, and then for IONNA to think about Apex, and I think everything just fits so perfectly together. I often talk about the timing of things, and now, me being in the seat as mayor and being able to celebrate this moment and having them here is just truly amazing.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, sir.
Perfect.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I thought it would be interesting to get the opinion of the mayor specifically, because he is the person who's going to have to directly feel the effects of this rechargery in his city. Now, I talked to him about all of the local shops and cafes and stores that were down the street from this rechargery, and he talked about how important it is to see a infrastructure like this, right? As he mentioned, this used to be a gas station, then it turned into a boutique, but what IONNA has done has totally transformed it into something out of this world. And what people can do is they can charge, walk down the street, right, buy a cup of coffee from the local coffee shop, and that money goes right back into Apex. And so I know for so long we hear from engineers and charge point operators and CEOs and EV owners, but I thought it'd be interesting to get his perspective as well, and I'm glad I did.
We are here with Nico on behalf of Mercedes. How are you doing, man?
Fine, thank you. I mean, having the opportunity to join such a great event, coming from PowerPoint now to reality, it's an awesome day.
Awesome. Mercedes has an expansive portfolio with EVs, not only in North America, but in Europe as well. So seeing Mercedes be a part of IONNA is great to see. I think a big question that our viewers have, so we have Mercedes a part of IONNA, as well as Mercedes building out their own awesome charging network. How will that work, and how do you see the two, compare?
First of all, it fits perfectly so together. So we are proud to have both initiatives, and there's a third pillar. But let's perhaps start, what is the biggest need out of the customer? So it's really about we need more chargers on the map, especially in North America, to boost EV adoption. We want to set a new benchmark on the charging experience, especially on reliability and customer experiences, and of course we want to have a best industry charging experience for our drivers. So, and these three pillars, we have three activities. One activity is IONNA, the big network where we aim to set up 30,000 chargers until the end of the decade with awesome partners, meaning the other global auto manufacturers. We have our own network, meaning Mercedes-Benz branded network. Andrew and his team is driving this crazy cool network, and this is really to elevate the charging experiences and having a perfect fit to our brand. And of course, seamlessly in-car integration, so with functionalities like reservation, for example. But not forget, there's a third pillar, and this is the Mercedes Me Charge service, where we connect all the CPOs active in the United States. It's about 120,000 charging points already, so, and the Tesla Supercharger network will come soon. So, and our customers have seamless contact or opportunity to use all of these charging points through our third pillar. So it's three pillars we are very proud of, and we need all of them to really have the most compelling charging ecosystem.
Awesome. And we'll see plug-in charge as well as all of the IONNA stations visible on Mercedes OS.
Yes, we are very proud to be from the day one ready for plug-in charge at IONNA. So, and it's not only about IONNA, it's also about the Mercedes branded network. It's about Electrify America. So plug-in charge is a really important feature for us and our customers because it's the most easiest to use.
Awesome. I gotta say, I've done the I-90 surge right in the Mercedes EQS. Very seamless, yes. Very seamless experience, and so I'm glad to see you guys be a part of IONNA and continue that really good charging experience, especially with plug-in charge. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to meet you.
We're here with Chris on behalf of Acura Honda. How are you doing here today?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here in Apex. This is the grand opening of the Apex Rechargery for IONNA. It's the first kind of flagship location for this all new EV charging brand, and it's just it's going to be a game changer.
Awesome. Honda has had quite a good success with their EVs. We see the Prologue selling super well in the United States. We're seeing you guys open your Ohio hub this year with the Acura RSX as well. How do you think infrastructure plays into the roadmap of your electrification efforts?
It goes hand in hand. I mean, that's part of the reason why we worked to start IONNA. So Honda was one of the founding automakers for IONNA, and really what we saw was an opportunity to create a whole new benchmark for charging, because it's all about our customers. Our customers, we knew, needed a good charging experience to make that transition to the battery electric vehicle. It's unfamiliar to a lot of people. They're used to just filling up in 5 minutes and moving on, and it stresses people out to think about charging, and they hear horror stories across the US. So we want to counter that. We want to make sure by the time the true volume of battery electric vehicle sales really starts to take off, that they have somewhere to charge and to have a really good experience. It's about our customers having a good experience, and that's why we as the OEMs came together to build this, rather than leave it to somebody else to create that experience and manage that experience.
Wise. And we'll see plug-in charge on the Honda and Acura EVs as well?
In the future, yes. Okay. Yeah. Currently, it's not quite ready yet, but we do have, of course, we have the Honda Prologue that's on sale now. The Acura ZDX is our other high-volume BEV that's on sale for our luxury brand Acura. We have the all-new Honda Zero Series EVs. You mentioned the Acura RSX coming. So the Zero Series vehicles are sort of the next generation, I guess I would say, of interface and other things like that. So some of those details are yet to be announced, but there's going to be a lot of additional capabilities on the Zero Series, including the future capability of bidirectional charging and all of those sorts of things. That's more of a home charging thing, but for public charging, we are going to be relying on IONNA as well as our other EV charging partners. We have agreements with Electrify America, EVgo, and Tesla Supercharger coming up this spring for Honda and Acura customers. So once we've got all of these things on board, no other automaker is going to have more charging options for its customers than Honda.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yep.
We are here with Miles on behalf of Hyundai Kia. How are you doing today?
Good. An exciting day. We had a really nice grand opening, ribbon cutting. The first IONNA station is out, up and running.
Awesome. Now, with NACS rolling out on, we see in many of the Hyundai Kia products, how do you think that will I guess, rollout work with the IONNA stations? We see IONNA stations with NACS as well. Do you think that this will be an easy transition? How do you see that?
Oh my gosh,
working?
it'll be an easy transition.
Okay.
People that buy the new 2025 Ioniq 5 will get the NACS port, so they can use Tesla, they can use IONNA. They'll also get the adapter to use the CCS. And you see at this station, there's both NACS and CCS. Right. So at a station like this, it'd be like your choice on which one you want to use. Then it opens up the Tesla network, which is huge, right? All you have to do is use the Tesla app, find the charger, start the charging, super efficient. And then Electrify America is on there, EVgo, you name it. Get a good home charger. Hyundai will help you with a free home charger if you buy a 2025 Ioniq 5. So it's like every one of those obstacles, we're trying to solve that.
Awesome. How has it been seeing the rollout of more charging infrastructure? I got to give Hyundai Kia props when it comes to electrification. And you guys have been like pedal to the metal, like really going hard. How do you think infrastructure plays into the part of sales as a whole?
Oh, I think it's a huge play because you want it to be beyond a second car. You want it to be a primary car for somebody. So if you can overcome all those barriers, and we're here today with IONNA, and what an opportunity. I worked on this project from the ground up. All the themes, the orange, and you're seeing the retro kind of, so it kind of looks like a gas station, so it's super familiar to you. But then, wait a second, this is all EVs, and I got this great coffee shop inside here, so I can spend my 20 minutes charging up. Our charging speeds are super, super fast. So for these to roll out across the country like any other gas station rollout that you see all over the country, for these to start popping up and people have a really nice experience charging, you don't have to find it in the back of the bank parking lot kind of thing, or some restaurant parking lot.
Back of hotels.
Back of the hotel. These are going to be front and center, good locations, beautiful to look at. You know, bring your family, enjoy yourself for a little 20 minutes and get a coffee and take a walk. And we're in this beautiful town of Apex. So yeah, it's really exciting, and it's one more step. Right. Do we need a lot of these? Absolutely. But one step at a time.
Sweet. And as I said, amazing charging speeds. Do you guys, in the near future, see yourselves, I guess, utilizing the 400 kilowatt speeds we see on IONNA stations?
Well, I think we're going to constantly develop our technology. So we're already working on the version 2.0 of the eGMP electric platform. So that will be optimized for different things and different speeds. So you got to keep an eye out for the future. I think we've always been one step ahead on thinking outside the box a little bit on where to go. So that new architecture is in development, and it'll be on the road pretty soon. So I think we're looking at all that stuff.
Awesome. And I'll ask you on camera here, I asked you before, out of the Hyundai Kia lineup, what's your favorite here?
So we're in front of the 2025 Ioniq 5N. It's more than 600 horsepower. It's really bred for the racetrack. And I've had a professional driver take me around Laguna Seca Raceway, and he was just pounding the tires into the pavement, but the car never missed a beat. It's super, super interactive too. It's got this really unique sound, so it sounds like a gas car, but it's an electric car. And the fact that the engineers looked at that level of detail in developing it is awesome. Kyle, I have to say hello. Pikes Peak was awesome with this Ioniq 5N. I'll see you at the next one.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miles.
Now, admittedly, the event ran pretty fast, and so I couldn't get an interview with everyone. I wasn't scheduled to have an event with anyone, so I had to go one by one, pretty much corralling people to be like, hey, let me get an interview with you. Let me ask you questions. But I'll be totally honest, it was a giant PR fest. Of course, all the automakers are there, and they're excited to be working with IONNA on a future project. This is great news to have, right? A new charge point operator is exciting, but the fact that we have 8 automakers, right, come together. Rarely do we see 8 automakers work on anything, whether ICE related or EV related. So to see them come together for something like this and help fund something like this, I think is super important. As I discussed in the video, right, they are investing in EVs. They're spending billions of dollars into EV infrastructure, new factory plants, more workers, billions of dollars of research and development. And we already know how important EV infrastructure it is, and it would be amiss for them to not invest in EV infrastructure when they're investing in the EV infrastructure of building EVs. And so if they want to see their sale of EVs go up, they're going to want to invest in infrastructure as well. And this is proof of that. Now, it is a good reminder, IONNA is an entire separate entity than the automakers backing it. These automakers are really helping to fund IONNA, but they aren't going to be leading IONNA in full force. One of the questions I asked was, are we going to see these automakers give special rates to their owners of their vehicles, like Mercedes, for instance? Could we see Mercedes give special rates to Mercedes owners at IONNA locations? And it doesn't seem like that will happen. At the time, I was told, well, we'll see. But I think that was just more of an invasive answer, right? Not trying to give like a definite, because who knows what will happen. But again, IONNA is a total separate legal entity that operates on its own. Now, as discussed with Seth, right, this is the full-scale rollout of their chargers. And now we're going to see IONNA build more and more chargers. They have over 100 sites contracted, currently have 6 sites that are live, 7 more that are currently under construction. So soon, IONNA is going to have 13, 14, 15, 16. Soon, they're going to have hundreds, and they're looking for 30,000 stalls by 2030. IONNA has a goal for 2025, that being 1,000 charging stalls across 100 plus locations in North America. Now, of course, I say North America. IONNA will be expanding to Canada as well. They don't have a timeline of when that will be, but that's what IONNA is planning on doing as well. Also, as I mentioned in the beginning, right, all IONNA stations are using the Alpitronic HYC 400, which is capable up to 400 kilowatt charging. Now, there are 2 stalls per 1 Alpitronic dispenser, and so that 400 kilowatts is split, so 200 kilowatts per stall. As you'll see me discuss further, right, Alpitronic and IONNA seem to have a pretty close relationship. And it seems like they were looking at the HYC 400 from the beginning of their rollout as an operator, as a provider for EVSE equipment. And I think having a good, close relationship with your EVSE manufacturer is important, right? You want to ensure that you have high reliability, and that seems to be one of the key points of IONNA, a very high uptime.
With Alpitronics, they're right now our sole source for charging hardware.
Awesome.
They have been a great partner. You know, as they've been ramping up operations in the U.S., we've been very, very tight with them, going out to their facility in Charlotte, using their labs for our own testing, and they have been tremendously responsive. You know, it's just, as we bring up our network, we see production issues with cars. They have really been able to deliver updated versions of our firmware, of their software, very quickly, and it's been instrumental to, I think, our success in bringing reliability to charging.
So you guys see yourself expanding with Alpitronic as, you know, infrastructure expands, years go on, updating infrastructure?
I sure hope so. I mean, as a charging network, we have to be thoughtful, and we have to protect ourselves in case changes happen in the industry that are unexpected. But at the same time, when you find a partner that works with you the way they do, you don't want to go looking. You know, you want to just continue to build a business with someone who's well established, and you know you're going to collaborate well with going forward. So I hope we stay with them. I'm thrilled, and their performance has been really above expectations.
So this station has CCS1 as well as the North American charging standard J3400. How did you guys, I guess, decide on going with NACS at a time where within the last year a lot has happened and changed, and you guys, I would say, almost guessed it right, perfectly right? Everyone's adopting the North American charging standard. I guess, how do you see that expanding with the infrastructure that IONNA puts out?
One of the benefits of partnering with Alpi is that if we decide we want more NACS, less CCS, we can swap out the cable hardware. And we'll make that decision as our stations come online and we collect more production data that informs us what type of charging are people doing. Are they charging native CCS? Are they using adapters? because CCS and there's more NACs and they need to charge. So we'll pay very close attention as new stations come online, as more people utilize our stations, to what the mix needs to be, and we'll adapt with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate this.
Now, I wanted to take a second to get more information from IONNA's own website, a resource that you can use for yourself to learn more about IONNA. So we're going to read from this news release here, right? IONNA enters national release phase. And I think these 4 bulletin points really summarize what we've learned. IONNA moves from public beta to full-scale national release. Over 100 sites contracted since launching in February 2024, deploying over 1,000 live charging bays and enabling EV road trips across the US by the end of 2025. And IONNA convenience stores powered by Amazon's cutting-edge Just Walk Out technology to debut at select locations, which we'll talk about more in a second. But I think this title here, the subtext, measuring twice and cutting once, really summarizes what I've learned about IONNA, right? After a rigorous testing phase in late 2024, automaker vehicle fleets and everyday drivers helped stress test the IONNA network, completing more than 4,400 charging sessions on over 80 unique vehicle models and dispensing nearly 63,000 kilowatt hours of energy. That is 630 Tesla Model S's, which have 100 kilowatt hour batteries. That's 630 of those have been charged and dispensed using, right for context here, that's not exactly what they're using, but over 80 unique EV models. And that helps, as we discussed, right, give IONNA an idea of how their charging system works, being able to see real-time data, and that helps them prepare for this full public release where tons of people are going to be using their chargers every single day. And of course, right, to mark this next national release stage, IONNA is proud to announce an excess of 100 contracted sites nationwide, including this week's opening of the rechargeries in Houston, Texas, Abilene, Kansas, and Wilcox, Arizona, joining another 6 additional locations under construction today. And let's kind of jump over to, IONNA's website here. And you can see, you can click on find a rechargery, and you'll see all of the rechargeries that IONNA has so far. So you can see on this interactive map, right, we have 2 in North Carolina, we have 1 here in Pennsylvania, 2 in Ohio, and then kind of moving over here, we have 1 in Texas as well, which is in Corsicana, Texas. And then we also have Arizona, and then we also have Houston over here. So look, IONNA is moving pretty fast. Now, of course, not all of these are open. Of course, we have Kansas as well. But you'll see right here, as it says for the Houston rechargery, it's open, but the Corsicana rechargery is opening pretty soon. Now, all of these are called rechargeries. However, there's kind of a different nameplate for what each rechargery is and its purpose. So we have the rechargery relays, which are just standalone charging stations, kind of what you would see with Electrify America or EVgo, where it's a charging station by itself in a parking lot, and it's relying on other infrastructure to, help EV drivers and, be used by EV drivers. And it's relying on infrastructure of other EV, and it's relying on existing infrastructure for EV drivers. So we can see, right, IONNA genuine charge dispensers, safe and well-lit charging areas, and canopy coverage is going to be preferred. But as I said, right, it's likely not going to happen for all of their stations. But restrooms and food and drink will always be nearby. And you can see, right, no driver's lounge. And that's what separates the rechargery at and the rechargeries, like what we see in Apex, where it has the chargers, it has the canopy, it's a safe, well-lit charging area, has restrooms, has food and drink, and has a lounge. Then we have the rechargeries at. The rechargery at is going to be, right, collaborations with existing companies. So for instance, IONNA is going to be working with Sheetz, and this is going to be a rechargery at Sheetz here. You can see, right, Sheetz has their own gas station. And of course, Sheetz has their own convenience store here. And all IONNA has to do is add their own chargers, and it makes things pretty simple. It's a kind of a symbiotic relationship here. IONNA is help attracting customers to Sheetz, customers that are likely going to be here for long periods of time that are going to buy from Sheetz. And so this is an example of a rechargery at location, rechargery at Sheetz, right? Safe, well-lit, canopy coverage, restrooms, food and drink, driver's lounge are all going to be provided by the at location. And of course, as we said, rechargeries all here that are going to be provided by IONNA themselves. But of course, BMW, GM, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Mercedes, Stellantis, Toyota coming together. It's worth noting that Toyota was kind of late to the party. It was really BMW and GM starting things off, and then slowly other automakers started to join, with Toyota kind of being last year. But they made it, right? Toyota is here, and they're ready to help build out infrastructure with IONNA. And as discussed with Seth, and also discussed with Jacques, right? CCS1 and NACS cables, and so native NACS. So you won't have to use an adapter. There's going to be CCS1 as well as NACS plugs, making it easy and available for all of the automakers and brands and makes and models that use either CCS1 or NACS. And a lot of them are going to be using plug and charge as well. Of course, plug and charge is a feature that will be expanded across all of these automakers. At the time, not every automaker had plug and charge available for IONNA, but it's something that we will see rolling out very, very soon. Plug and charge makes things super easy. It's what all the Tesla superchargers have. You just plug in at a station, and that's it. You don't have to fiddle with your card, pulling your card out your wallet to then look at the numbers on the back and then type them in or scan a QR code. You plug and you charge. Now, one of the cooler things discussed at IONNA's Garner Rechargery is that they will be introducing Amazon, like, just walkout technology. I'm not sure if you've seen the Amazon Go stores where you just scan a barcode from your Amazon app. There are a million cameras tracking everyone's movement. You could just go in the store, grab something, and walk out, and it automatically charges you. And so they'll be introducing this same technology at some of their rechargeries, allowing for seamless purchases at lounges, at their rechargery. So there isn't a need always for someone to be there. So during later nights where someone likely won't be working, you can walk in, order something, get a drink, get a snack, and it's seamless, right? You don't have to have someone there at all times, which I think is really cool. And I'm glad IONNA is experimenting with something like this. It's great to see IONNA innovate. Rechargeries are pretty cool. I mean, look, every gas station pretty much has one, but for during the times where it's late night, or you're not always going to have someone who's able to attend and maintain your rechargeries, the ability for someone to be able to get a snack and drink is still maintained with this innovative feature. So this is pretty cool. And that's launching this year, Q1 of 2025, as soon as that Garner, North Carolina station opens. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so glad to see IONNA open. I told everyone there, I am rooting for IONNA. I mean, I've never seen... We really rarely see the startup of a CPO just from the ground up, right? From there, it's been about a year since IONNA has been fully formed and founded. And so just 12 months from starting, they already have a couple stations, 6 stations, live stations out there. And that's awesome. They're already shooting for reliability. They're shooting for a good product, and who can be mad at that? So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Isaiah. This is Out of Spec, and I'll see you guys in the next one.